Kohli has now retired officially from captaincy of everything. He is no longer going to be captaining anything in his life. I'm Kohli's communicat. This is Virat Kohli, and this is Jay Shaw's English teacher doing a really bad job. Let's talk about what the hell just happened. People just using Instagram, Twitter, just to like telling that okay, this person I'm done. Like, I mean, what happened to the real world anymore? I mean, but the weirdest part I've heard it a fair few places, and I've talked to fair few people, and there's people and pundits. We are sort of also pseudo pundits. A lot of people think it's a shock. They're shocked. You didn't see it coming. I mean, for fucking real? Is this a surprise? Does any of you two think Kohli's decision wasn't influenced heavily by the ongoing tussles? I'm just using a small word with BCCI and all the drama that's been happening. I mean, how is this a surprise? I mean, you guys saw it coming, right?
I'll be honest. I thought he will stick to Test captaincy. I was a little surprised because he clearly said that he just wanted to give up, as illogical as it may sound, he only wanted to give up T20 captaincy. He wanted to be captain in other formats, and one day was taken away from him, as we all know. So I thought that okay, fine, great. He'll go down as like the greatest Test captain, and he will make Test format his own, and that'll be his lasting legacy. So I'm kind of a little bit surprised as at his decision, and we have now more questions than answers as to what the hell just happened. We'll get into details as to what prompted this decision and all, but to answer your initial question, I think
It was not
I'll
like
be honest, I was a little bit surprised.
no, I was not. I mean, I was surprised. I didn't think that it will happen too soon. But in the last podcast, I said that if India loses, there'll be questions asked about his captaincy, and he might lose it also. But I didn't think that he will himself relinquish it. But now, if I like, a day has passed now. When we are recording it, it's the Sunday, and Saturday evening he announced it on Twitter. So I think now that it makes sense, because I just feel that with all the drama which was happening, and we all know it's not hidden, right? Whoever is pretending that oh wow nothing was happening, it's all bullshit. You can see Anushka Sharma's post also. She has clearly, like not clearly, but she mentions it that there was a lot of stuff happening off the field. So I was thinking that yeah, somehow he'll have to let go of his test captaincy as well, especially if we lose against South Africa. But I didn't think that it will be so soon. So it was a mild shock for me, but I knew that this is coming. And after thinking about it, I think this is a good decision, because if he has to go, this was the right time to go, because for 2 years we are not going touring any strong test playing nation apart from that one test match in England. We are all mostly playing in India. I know it's
I
funny, but
completely
yeah.
forgot about that test match. Yeah.
So
Well, okay,
yeah, so
30
I
million
think I
pounds.
think
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's a shocking decision, but if you think logically, I think this was the right time to quit.
Yeah, that's what I meant when I say surprise. Obviously, I was also surprised. My question was like, why are you surprised that it has happened? Like you can find logic, right? I was just saying the
Right.
initial surprise, yes. What just like did he just do it? But then when you think about logically, it's not like you can put two and two together. That was my point. And I think you both agree on that. That once we find what are the reasons we can find. So that's what the next reason is like, I mean, do you think that Kohli had already made up his mind even before the series started because all the drama had already happened. He was like kicked out of the one-day captaincy, and or do you reckon the decision was influenced by the loss of the series after being ahead 1-0, and that too to a depleted and rather inexperienced South African side after the first match they thought they'll get like thrashed 3-0. Eventually, I think it was pretty easy victories in both the matches.
Knowing Kohli's character, I think he would have made up his mind before the series. Ideally, he would have liked to win the series and go out on a high and say "fuck you" to BCCI that hey, I'm the first captain who's won in like South Africa, Australia, England, blah blah blah, and like fuck you, I'm going on a high. But I mean, alas, like he didn't get his last hurrah. So my knowing him, I think this decision would have been made before the series when he was like sacked as ODI captain, and that's where it would have hurt his ego, and he would say like fuck you, and he probably didn't want to make a big deal before the test series and like go away. And so yeah, that's my guess.
Yeah, I feel the same because I the way it panned out, I don't think it was influence. I mean, when I first heard about it, I thought, oh, maybe it's because of that. But then, yeah, he has done everything in advance, even for the T20 captaincy, and again, if I think about it, it is whatever has happened. It makes sense to immediately, say, as you say, fuck off BCCI, I'm quitting from Test also. But since this was an important series, he would have thought that okay, maybe we'll win here. We won the first Test match, second Test match, obviously was not playing. Then third Test match, he thought okay, maybe we'll just win it and then just end on a high. And Kohli is one sort of character where I don't think he thinks much about records, because he would have just continued and become the at least the second best captain in terms of wins if he had just played out the whole home season. So I don't think this is a spontaneous decision, as Lal said. It's a pre-planned decision.
Although I disagree with both of you. I actually feel that whatever happened during the series, you might have thought about it, you might have given it thought, but I just definitely feel the way it ended, all these things happened, and it's not like okay because they lost, then he did it. But I think if they had won, something other things have happened. Maybe he might have not done it right away. That's what my feeling is. All right, let's move on to the third question. This is something very. Let's be very unbiased about this thing. What do you think about all the nonsense, which I completely miss because I have a job which takes up all my fucking time. But later on, I caught up on it. What the nonsense and let's say mildly disgraceful, because I've been using this word. A lot of people use this word a lot, so let's just call it mildly disgraceful behavior. Because people have told me that from SEO point of view, from the clickbait thing, you should say it so it catches it. More people watch your podcast. Kohli showed right after the DRS fiasco, he also encouraged condoned behavior. Not only condoned, encouraged his teammates to behave like sore losers, playing blame game, which is comes very naturally to Indian people. Here's what happened in case you have missed it completely. The viewers, South Africa captain Dean Algar was given LBW by the on-field umpire. Algar reviews. DRS shows the ball is missing the stumps, but to the naked eye, it looked pretty sure looked out. And by the way, this has happened before. These things are not new. This happens. And if it happens to India, then nobody cares about it. But Kohli lost his shit apparently, talking a lot to the stump mic. Kohli goes up to the stump mic and addresses the broadcaster Super Sports, saying, focus on your team while they shine the ball, not just the opposition, trying to catch people all the time. Then KL doubled down by saying it's the whole country against 11
Yeah,
guys.
that was the
I
worst.
mean, that is just doesn't make any fucking sense because most of South Africa have no fucking clue what you're talking about. And then Ashwin tripled down as Ashwin would do stuff like that. And he directly said Supersport in his fucking comment. He said, you should find better ways to win Supersport. And as TGC said, it's like Supersport is going towards every fucking thing and moving the needles. Like, okay, let's move it. No, it's just the fucking system is like that. Even if it was Virat Kohli would have done the exact fucking same thing. They're not tweaking it to the particular decisions only. If it's that, it is. And this is not the first time we've been like, how the fuck is this missing? And how the fuck is this hitting? What is happening? This is not the first time. It's just a machine. It's not Super Sport deliberately making it
Yeah.
one machine for India and one machine for South Africa. So that is what TGC was saying. It's not like specifically tweaked for that one decision when D. Lalgar was playing. Oh,
Yeah, I think it was childish, it was juvenile, it was like a very, very you know unpleasant player behavior. I
unbecoming
mean, it
also
was
for a
just
captain.
unbecoming. Yeah, I mean, you are the leaders of world cricket. You are senior players. Like this was just like gully cricket. You would do this, right? Like you would say cheater and things like that. Like I will not give you my bat and all that nonsense. It's like really
Yeah.
unbecoming of like in general, like a 30-year-old person like doing all these things is just like you would be like what the fuck, like it's I was really like surprised that he took it so bitterly and encouraged his teammates to do the same. Just on a lighter note, I think the previous night all of them like watched the movie Lagan, and they thought that, oh, we are like the Lagan team, everyone, the world is against us, like you are kachara and I'm bhuvan, and the world, and they got into those sentiments that the world is against us, and that's why we are losing. We are a great team. How can this shitty team beat us? Like, I think the South Africans got to them. Like, they had no fucking answers in the fourth innings in two test matches, and the pressure, they were like deer caught in a headlight, that what the fuck, like, how is this stupid South African team beating us? Like, how can someone beat us like so comprehensively, and how can we be so inept? I think that's it. All the frustrations came out. That would be my take on it.
Yeah, it was pretty juvenile. It was like hormonal fucking teenagers. What the fuck was that behavior, Bikram? How can you condone that behavior? Can you? Will you still support Virat Kohli? What was that all about? It was just
No, I
bad
think
shit.
it was.
And there was pressure on Virat Kohli because he knew it was his last game, right? And he just was losing it.
Yeah, I think, and and I feel that
We are the torch bearers of cricket everywhere.
yeah, it was not good, obviously, and I think that phase where they lost it for whatever period of time, and during that phase, South Africans actually scored pretty quickly and made like 30-40 runs. They could. It was, I think, at 60 when Elgar was given
Yeah.
out, and after that they ended the day at 101. So I think that was definitely not something which they should have done. In fact, they let themselves down. They could have just forgotten about it and could have gotten Elgar out. In fact, you guys don't know, but Pujara dropped Keegan Peterson also in the next on the next day, and sorry, not on the next day, on the same. Next day, right? But
Next day,
my
next day.
point is, the point is they could have exerted more pressure. Elgar knew that he barely survived. They could have built on that pressure. Instead of doing that, they just let themselves down. They let them score those crucial 30-40 runs, because if that point they would have gotten one more wicket, they could have actually gotten another, because there was a lot of pressure. It's an inexperienced side and all that shit. But yeah, that was something. And then KL Rahul, I don't know, he made it worse. Whatever he said, he made it worse, because at least these people were just pointing to the broadcasters. But this guy just, like, what, he just, I think he was just trying to be fit in, and try to be cool. He said
He shouldn't do it. He shouldn't do it. Also,
he
it's very
should.
like very confusing and hypocritical. If you are you blaming super sport or are you blaming the entire country? And how will it help when you just call entire South Africans like indirectly cheating? Like what
Yeah,
I like it's like saying Indians are doing that. Always say like Indian. I have no like power to do anything. I'm just sitting here. Mostly I'm trying to just migrate to
yeah, there were a
Canada.
lot of funny
That's all I'm trying
comments.
to do most of the
There were a
time.
lot of funny comments. There was one guy said,
Yeah,
I
my
was
mother
just.
told me just go to Australia. I'll give you the money. Like just fuck off. Like just leave.
Yeah, he
It's
was
just
just
bad.
some guy tweeted that I don't even know. I was just making sandwich in my home.
Yeah, and mostly when Indians can defend everything, at least this one I've seen like a lot of people saying like, you know what, it did not look right. And also when
No,
we
no,
lost
no.
the way we're like people
You
just
can't
backing up. People
defend
don't
that.
want to talk about it. People don't want to talk about it. Now, what do you also think? Now I'm just like final question on this thing before we get to the captaincy situation, which is pretty clear. But who's the next captain, which is also just as worse as England. But let's talk about after all this thing happened, after all this drama happened, they didn't get sanctioned, they didn't get fined for this ridiculous on-field behavior at Newlands. After the whole DRS bust up, we need to talk about against authorities. But when authorities make the rule, which is BCCI, is anybody ever going to stand up against BCCI? Because at least they could have
I
been
see.
fined. The whole English team fucking got their fined entire match fee. When they lost big time, they don't get paid. They play for 5 days, get injured, probably lose another T20 contract. And look at these people. They just do say entire country against us, super sport directly saying, how can you like insinuate against super sport? I mean, super sport should sue them fucking. Like, and this guy said their name directly, right? You should sue Ashwin for the rest of his fucking
By
life,
the
all
way,
his earnings. They should do it.
Super
Oh, have
Sport
they
is
done it?
super happy because they got so much footage out of it. They can just they can just sell that footage for millions and millions of rupees. So
People
I
didn't
don't think
even know
that.
who the sponsors were. Now everyone
I
will
have no
know.
idea. Like now I just keep hearing super sport.
Super Sport is
Yeah.
like
So
ESPN now.
yeah. By the way, this
Sanction. No, not nothing. Nothing touches India. You can say whatever.
ICC,
You
no,
can
no,
get away with murder.
ICC warned the Indian players, so their job is
Yeah.
done.
Oh yeah. We didn't see anything. ICC was like we were watching it, but I think the feed went away. Like the one it went away in ashes for 145
And if
minutes,
you,
right?
and if you did it, please don't do it again, okay?
No, I think the logic
And then
is
Kohli said, "हो गया तेरा, हो गया, हाँ हो गया, ठीक है, bye, हो गया तुम लोग
I
का."
think the what people are saying, or what it's being said, that why they were not penalized, that there's no rule that uh, that you can say, you cannot say something about
You're
the
just killing
opposition
them
player.
now. There's no rule. Like, what is going to be exact rule because you said something like exactly an entire country against 11 people? I mean, what are you trying to say? It's pretty fucking clear. There should have been sanctioned because where do you draw the line?
At least KL should have been sanctioned.
And no, I think Ashwin would have been more sanctioned because Ashwin said their name directly.
Actually he started. Actually he
He started.
started
Okay, I've got the
when
chronology incorrect. Okay.
right, when the, because he it was on his delivery, right? So, and he was super frustrated because
Mhm.
he had not got any major wickets in the series, so he
He
was
hasn't got
super
any wickets in
frustrated.
the series, by the way,
He got
which is
no
exactly
zero
why he did
wickets.
not
Yeah,
play in England. Now people are understanding it,
yeah. Now
even
people
including
understand.
Lal. Yeah, who was completely against it. So let's move on
So
to the
yeah,
last
I
question
think
and end this goddamn thing. You have still more to say.
no, that's all. That's all.
All right. So India also in the same boat as the next captain situation, except English captain still has not retired, given up, relinquished, whatever the fancy word you want to use. So now our captain is gone. Even from the test cricket, we have five options, at least according to me. If you have more options, please go ahead because you can also, because the way you're choosing England captain, I won't be surprised if you make fucking Siraj also captain and make him speak in English because only you say the swear words. The first option for me is the fatty. Rohit Sharma, this is the only time I call him fatty. And if I advertise this podcast, I get a lot of brickbats and I get a lot of galia in Hindi, which I can't even understand. Who's always injured for any match that lasts longer than 20 overs. I'm still talking about the fatty Rohit Sharma. That's one option. Then KL, the choker, Jinx, the great backup captain who cannot bat, and the Maverick, the panties, Rishabh Pants. And the final option is Ashwin. If Ashwin comes in, forget about Kohli, captain. He's not going to play. He's like, horses for courses. I think I was thinking like Kohli should not be playing. We get Shreyas Iyer or somebody from South India from who can speak my language. That will be perfect. Whenever anybody comes from South India, Kohli just loses his balls, isn't it? When Kumble came in, became the coach. He just like, I want Punjabi, I want whiskey. And the moment whiskey left, he just, I mean, it's been like just very little time since whiskey left, and Virat Kohli is just like completely world has changed, man.
Yeah, I feel sad for Rahul Dravid. He'd be like, "What the fuck? Like, why am I inheriting all this crap?
And this is
I'm
happening
here to
second
do a
time.
job."
This
Yeah,
is happening
it's
second time, and on both the times, Ganguly was involved.
Saurav, Dada.
Dada
Dada.
is screwing with Dravid. Anyway, I think it's gonna be. I think one thing I want to make is like everything is cyclical, right? What comes around, what goes around, comes around. Indian Test cricket has been on a high for the last 2, 3, 4 years, and I think now time has come that our downward spiral will start. And I'm not
England will
saying
make
it'll
sure
get.
that we don't go down.
Yeah, yeah, I don't think that I'm what I'm trying to say is I'm not saying that it'll be abysmal and bad and all that. Will not just It'll not be just as good. We had stability uh, before. Now all these guys, all like most of these guys will be chucked out in bulk, right? Pujara, Rahane, Kohli, captaincy gone. So instead of like retiring one and bringing one, when you have like six great batsmen, one of them retires, you bring one youngster, and then the engine moves on, and the cycle continues. This rot, we've brought it on ourselves. So, answering your question, captaincy, I think question, I don't know. I would give it to Rohit Sharma. I am reluctant to give it to KL Rahul because he's a shitty captain. Like I've seen him in IPL teams, he plays great, but his teams are shit. Like he is not
Just
able to
kill me,
even
okay?
like
Rohit Sharma,
get an
Vikram, just
ounce
just
of. No, I mean, who do you give it to? Like
I
Rahane
can't
has to be
fire you,
dropped.
otherwise I would have fired you right now. Like
No,
Rohit Sharma,
Rahane. No,
the guy
logically, you
is
tell me Rahane has
he
to.
gets he gets injuries. I've never seen him getting any injury on the field ever. Have you seen him getting any injury on the field? How do you get an injury by just standing like this? He doesn't do anything.
My point
No,
is,
Whenever
I
he leaves
think
the
okay.
field, he eats a lot
Let's
of
I'm
parathas,
okay.
then he gets injured.
let me ask
I'm
Lal, who should be the
Yeah.
vice captain? Because anyway, he'll be injured, and then someone will have to stand in for him. So who will be the vice captain?
That's a good question. So now that's where I think we have no
We
other
have no
choice
answers, only
but
questions.
no. The only option that we can go to is KL Rahul. Unfortunately, I don't think our bowlers have brains to be captains. Sorry, like politically incorrect, but I don't think any. I think Ashwin is a bet for short term because like Shane Warne had this period. People said that he is a great cricketing mind and he could have been a great Aussie captain, but he was never given a chance. Ashwin, I think, has a great cricketing brain, and if because now, as you said, right, 2 years mostly people are touring India, we are not going anywhere away. It's a punt that for the next cycle 2 years make Ashwin the short term captain, because he is probably the most intelligent cricketer in the 11 that we play.
But there's
Okay.
red flags in everything. There's problems with everything. You can't be playing Ashwin in every match. That's the
In
problem.
India,
He can't
yes,
be.
every match,
He
why
was not
not?
supposed to be playing in South Africa. Are you choosing
In
captain for
India,
India?
no, it's like Lion plays in every Australian match, whether it's in Australia, whether it's in England. If you have a great spinner,
They
you
don't have
have to play him.
Jadeja. That's why.
Answer. No, I would pick Ashwin ahead of Jadeja for sure. I would play three fast bowlers, one spinner, and seven batsmen. This formula of like with this fragile, shitty Indian batting lineup, gone are the days where you can play comfortably with six bowlers, six batsmen, and five bowlers. With this fragile batting lineup, you cannot do this. If you are arrogant, you will continue to do this. But if common sense prevails, then in this transition period where you will chuck out Rahane, you don't know what's going to happen with Pujara, and you don't know whether this guy will be fit or not fit. You have to play safe and play six seven batsmen.
I don't agree. And he's 35. He's going to be like in 6 months. He's 36. I don't understand. Like that just then we have to play this guy all the time. So no. Is there any other option? Is there anybody there? I gave you 5 options. There's
No, there is
the
no
fatty
other.
part two, the Maverick,
Yeah,
was
there is no
throwing his
other
bat
option.
over everywhere, but then he got this crazy 100. It didn't help us eventually, but I think he was excellent in that match.
There's no other option. There's either, for me at least, there's either KL Rahul or Rishabh Pant. I don't want to give captaincy to. You can give captaincy to Rohit Sharma, but it's not gonna help because he'll not be able to captain all the three formats, and obviously I think he favors one day cricket or the shorter format.
20.
So
One day is already too long.
so I feel, and it's not fair also. I mean, if you think about it, he was supposed to be our white ball captain. He's supposed to win us the ICC champion tournaments, and suddenly you give him the captaincy. So I think this is a great time that you have the, as I keep saying in all the podcasts, the next 2 years we are just playing in India or in the subcontinent because we are touring Bangladesh also. Don't take them lightly by the way. So so I feel that you can either make KL Rahul or I know it's gonna sound ridiculous, but maybe make KL Rahul the captain and make Pant the vice captain. Anyway, see, Virat Kohli has retired from captaincy, but I don't. He's still there, right? He can still be part of the whatever the core leadership group as they call it everywhere now. So he can be that guy, because some people were saying that he just left suddenly. He should have you know created his backup and all that. That's what he was trying to do. That's where all this started. Actually, he wanted Rohit Sharma to not be the vice captain and bring some new person to be the vice captain, and make him go through all those things. So anyway, so yeah, my answer would be make again. There's no other choice. They make KL Rahul the captain and make Rishabh Pant the vice captain, and just see what happens.
I understand. It's a very difficult question. I don't have any answers. I don't know myself. Like who? I just feel it's just like you're throwing it in the air. The trouble is that everyone that I'm taking names of, this is not good enough. Virat Kohli is the best as captain we have and we've ever had, ever in the history. And that's the honest truth of it. And if all this off-field drama hadn't happened, he would still be captaining till like, whenever he can. At I mean, I don't know, 1 year, 2 year, 4 years, or even towards the end of his career also. But he could have captained till somebody was ready. Just when MS Dhoni was going right, it became untenable for him, and we knew Virat Kohli is there. He was just knocking the door, and he was knock was getting harder and harder. Here we are like deliberating. Same thing we are doing with England. There's literally nobody there. England have Stokes, but then Stokes has problems. He has injury
And that's
problems.
what
There'll be too much pressure. He has personal issues. It's just a lot of drama. He just always gets injured. So they have nobody. Same England, India is in the same boat. There's just nobody. I think India also needs to go to Pakistan, find somebody.
By the way, just answer me this. Am I correct in saying that if Rohit Sharma was a part of the squad before he got injured, he was announced as vice captain to Virat Kohli for the test matches? So then logically, why wouldn't he be the captain? Because he was the vice captain for South African tour.
Logic. If you talk about logic, then everybody just gets it straight away, right? But the point is that logically, Virat Kohli should not be relinquishing his captaincy right now. Logically, he wanted few weeks ago just the T20 captaincy be relinquished. That also some of the pressure. Suddenly, everything just snowballs. So, but you understand, Lal, that this guy is always injured. Like he gets injured off field. God knows what he does. He's 34 years old. He's struggling. That means there has to be somebody backup, which Vikram said. If we make him the captain, fine. But the deal is that there has to be a backup, and there is no
So
backup.
here's
And
the reality check, right? Here's
maybe
what
start
is going to
young.
happen.
Make somebody
Yeah,
young.
so here's what is going to happen. Either they will give Rohit Sharma the captaincy and Rohit
For
Sharma will
now, it's
replace
possible.
Virat Kohli as is. All format, one captain, and it's the era of Rohit Sharma for the next 2 years. Either that is going to
very
happen.
short era.
The second, the quote unquote less conservative decision is making KL Rahul captain, which I think will be shittier because he does not have the brain power to be a captain. He is too soft.
I
He
think
does
he
not
doesn't
have the
have things in
temperament.
the
And
pants.
Pant
That's the
and
problem.
making Pant the captain is like making Shahid Afridi the captain. They didn't have the tournament. They are mavericks. They'll go out and play their natural game. They cannot control their own game. How will they control 11 other men?
Shahid
It's the
Afridi just
same thing.
tweeted, "How dare you?
Yeah, I
I'm
mean, so that's
smarter.
why he was never the
I'm
captain,
smarter."
right?
And he misspelled smarter.
And
He was
younger
never
than
the
me.
captain. It's the same reason.
He said, "I'm younger also." Oh, Shahid
He's
Afridi is
still
very offended
17.
by coming compared to pants. He's like, "I'm smarter," although he could not spell smarter correctly, the spelling.
No, I mean what Lal is saying.
We
What
are in a
Lal is
bit of a
saying makes
limbo.
sense.
We are in a bit of a fix right now. I think this is going to be like a lot of trial and error, R&D situation. I don't think we have anybody.
I
We need
think
somebody
Virat Kohli
solid,
will
and
just.
this is after a very long time, by the way. We've always
But
had somebody, right?
it's we as fans who are confused. I think the BCCI is very clear. Rohit Sharma, and if not, KL Rahul. For them,
He's
it's
not
very
going to be
simple.
able to
We as
handle so
fans
much
are
cricket,
emotionally
so much
involved.
cricket. He's not going to be able to handle it. He'll break down. You know it. Unless if you're saying you don't know it, then I don't know what to say. He's going to
No,
break
I
down.
think
I
that's
think Rohit Sharma will give up T20 eyes
that's not
because
gonna
there are
happen.
better opening batsmen. There are like five
This,
openers in T20
He's
eyes
supposed to
who
win us the
probably
next two World Cups.
yeah, that's
Why?
it.
it's become a bit of a mess now.
No,
No,
I'll tell you.
T20 World Cup is this year, right? It's short term. So do it and then finish it.
It's in
So
Australia. Australia's on a high. Look at what's happening in Australia last 2 months. They're destroying everything.
Yeah,
So
correct.
I think
And New
I don't
Zealand.
know whether it's true or not, but there is a very reliable leaker of BCCI information. His name is some Rao Krishna some Rao, and he's a Times of India journalist, but whatever he says comes out mostly true. So he
Is
the
the long
day
hair guy?
no, no, not long hair. I
Short
don't
hair
know
guy?
how he looks. I just follow him
What's
on
his
Twitter.
name? Keep speaking, I'll find him.
Some Rao, Krishna, some K Rao. His name is. You
Okay.
can search him on Twitter. KSR, his I think the ID is. So he actually said that this guy KL Rahul is supposed to be the captain, but then next day, not next day, after few hours, another leaker who is also kind of not. I mean, he's not very reliable. He just takes information from somewhere. So he said that Rohit Sharma is going to be the captain. So uh, Yeah, I mean, if we think about it, Rohit Sharma can be the captain for short term, but then the problem is, as we said, that he not be able to handle. But again, it's in India. All the test matches in India. He's a great batsman anyway. So this might be a short term
K.
solution that
Srinivas Rao, I found.
yeah, K. Shrivas Rao. So I think yeah, I think that's what BCCI will do probably. That they will make Rohit Sharma the captain and KL Rahul the vice captain, and then let him just learn on the job. Although you guys are forgetting, or we are also forgetting, KL Rahul was not even the permanent team member. He just got in because Mayank
Correct.
Agarwal got injured six
Neither was
months
Rohit
back.
Sharma. That's what I'm saying. Neither was Rohit Sharma. Right now, Shreyas is flogging in all over in Twitter. Is saying like, I'm also here. He's like, dude, you're not even the team. He's like, don't do the same thing which you did to me in Delhi. I'll quit from. I'll also change my teams. He's like, you can't do that. It's not a franchise. You can't go to like fucking start
By the
playing.
way, on very unrelated note, Krunal, sorry, what's the other Pandya?
Kunal's
The
captain,
no, no, that Pandya, the cooler
Hardik
Pandya.
Hardik
Pandya.
Pandya.
Hardik Pandya became captain of one of the newer IPL franchises.
They just
Ahmedabad.
did it like this.
Yeah, Ahmedabad. Yeah,
And what about
Ahmedabad.
other one? Lucknow.
other one they have not announced. I think it will be KL Rahul. That's the another thing about
When
KL
did the
Rahul.
franchise buy him in the
He's
first place? I
very
thought the auction
greedy.
has not happened yet.
They can announce. They can. I think
Pick
they
three
can
players.
free
Three
players.
release
Yeah.
players. The other two franchises can pick without auction.
But when did
Right.
they buy him? Like I didn't actually get to hear it that they bought it. Otherwise, there would be a lot of fanfare about it that they bought this guy.
I mean, who cares about him anyway? So that's and there is
No,
no.
I'm just saying it's
They,
reported. I'm not sure. Did I miss it? Like has he been
no,
reported
no,
who
they
they
have
bought and
announced.
all?
They have announced officially that Hardik Pandya. So here's the combination. Hardik Pandya is the captain. Vice captain is Rashid Khan, and guess who's the coach?
Shane
Ashish
Warne?
Nehra.
Oh my God. Watch out for this team. Dark horses. Already my predictions are in. This team is the dark horse for
They
IPL
they are there
2022.
just to make RCB look good. Like how England is there to make other teams look better. So I think that's the. So yeah, coming back to
Yeah,
the
let's wrap this damn thing. I have to go to a fucking farewell. I just almost missed all of it.
because
I
you
have
have
to end
also
somewhere. We have a lockdown situation
stepped
at 10
down.
o'clock. It's not a lockdown, it's like a soft lockdown. Like
Right.
restaurants have to shut around 10. So yeah, that I'll not be able to reach the restaurant. I thought I'll be able to reach the restaurant. I'll have to do the after party thing. People are still partying. They just have to like go to some other place to party. That's it. Yeah. I mean, you're pretty
Yeah,
familiar
because
with that in Toronto, right? Same way. How people go to homes. Yes, sir.
Yes.
right. No, nothing. I think yeah, we are as clueless as anyone out there about who should
Thank
be
you for
the next
accepting it.
captain.
So all three podcasts we did, the only thing we had clue about, which was again we didn't do any of the research ourselves because Novak Djokovic is on his flight back to again we don't know where he is. We still don't know who's going to be next England
He's
captain.
going to Dubai.
Chorut is still not retired or given up, but we're like, please somebody else, and we're still saying we can't find anybody. And for England, India, that we're sure that Virat Kohli has given up his captaincy, given up whatever happened at the end of the day. We don't know who's going to be the next one, but you guys think it's going to be Rohit Sharma. Virat Kohli, if you think it's Rohit Sharma. What was your pick? I was getting distracted a lot. Who did you actually pick?
Yeah, I think Rohit Sharma. Yeah.
Everybody's saying Rohit Sharma. I'm very Sharminda. I think it's going to be. I don't know. I have no idea, man. Like Rishabh Pant,
Your
Virat
pick is
Kohli.
Mohammad Siraj, right?
Mohammad
Okay.
Siraj, yeah, I know he's gonna be speaking a lot of English. He's like, everybody's
By the way,
racist.
all the players have expressed their gratitude and congratulated Virat for the
Oh,
but
Oh.
oh,
but only Siraj has not done it. So
huh?
something is
No,
yeah.
because he was not able to type. Because like, really, मैं सोच रहा हूँ, सोच रहा हूँ, सोच रहा हूँ. I for all the people that. All right, thank you for listening today. It was a very long podcast, three-part one. So apart from Novak Djokovic, England Ashes series debacle, and now India's debacle, which is going to start in the next 2 years. Although Bikram constantly says the tours are not going to be very difficult, but I think if we're going to fall, we're going to fall badly. We're going to lose to some really big team like Bangladesh. Let's hope that doesn't happen, but anything is possible. So thank you for your time, Virat Kohli. And I'm Kohli's hormonal cat. This is Jay Shaw's English teacher. Jay Shaw will never learn any English because of you. Every time you take up a job, don't do a good job. So thank you for coming in. We'll see you next time. Take care. Love you all. It's Sunday.